In the electric crucible of the Santiago Bernabéu, beneath floodlights that sliced through the Madrid night like blades of judgment, Vinícius Júnior stood as both conqueror and captive. The roar of 80,000 voices crashed over him in relentless waves, a deafening hymn of adoration laced with impossible demand. Sweat traced fiery paths down his temples while the pristine grass beneath his boots felt like sacred yet treacherous ground. He had become the living emblem of Real Madrid's insatiable hunger for glory. Yet this global icon status wrapped around his spirit like invisible vines, tightening with every expectant gaze. The psychological burden settled deep in his chest, a silent storm where joy and suffocation danced in uneasy harmony. As the referee's whistle cut through the tension, the weight of carrying a club's destiny and the world's spotlight pressed. Heavier than any physical collision, the ball at his feet pulsed with the dreams of millions, its leather surface cool against the heat radiating from his skin. Shadows from the towering stands stretched long across the pitch, mirroring the inner shadows he battled daily. Every stride echoed not just tactical precision, but the quiet defiance of a soul refusing to break. The air carried the sharp tang of anticipation mixed with the faint echo of distant chants, some loving, some laced with venom that had followed him across continents. In this arena of high-stakes Wayfair nights, Vinícius embodied the intersection of brilliance and burden, where mental fortitude became the true battleground beneath the surface of elite football's glittering facade. From the vibrant yet unforgiving streets of São Gonçalo's favelas, where football was born from bare feet on cracked concrete and dreams fueled by sheer survival, Vinícius Júnior rose as a raw talent destined to illuminate the grandest stages. At 18, he crossed oceans to join Real Madrid, exchanging the warm chaos of Brazilian soil for the cold, tactical rigor and merciless scrutiny of European football's pinnacle. Early years brought bench frustrations and whispers of doubt from critics who questioned his refinement under the club's historic pressure. Visionary guidance from figures like Carlo Ancelotti helped nurture his explosive potential amid the unrelenting stakes of a team built on legends and zero tolerance for failure. The weight of near misses and fallen idols before him quietly molded his resolve, turning street-honed flair into a weapon forged for immortality. Yet beyond tactics and adaptation lay a deeper trial, the suffocating cultural and racial pressures that shadowed his ascent. Racist abuse erupted from rival stands and even seeped into moments of celebration, testing the limits of his desire to simply play the game he loved. He channeled that pain into blistering runs and audacious goals that lit up stadiums. But the emotional toll accumulated like unseen scars. Teammates offered solidarity, yet the invisible cross of being the black Brazilian icon in a demanding European landscape fell heaviest upon his shoulders. This was no mere background chapter, but the foundation of a resilience that blended tactical evolution with profound mental endurance, where every triumph carried the echo of battles fought far from the pitch. Wayfair Champions League nights unfolded in waves of unrelenting intensity. Vinícius Júnior sliced through defenses with hypnotic speed and feints that left opponents grasping at air. His movements a rhythmic storm of athletic defiance and tactical cunning. The Bernabéu crowd surged in collective rhythm with each daring dribble, their roars blending with the sharp clash of boots on turf to create an atmosphere thick with anticipation and emotional stakes. Rivals circled him with aggression that often transcended the game, their challenges sharpened by the knowledge that stopping the icon meant breaking more than just a player. Media scrutiny dissected every gesture in the solitary hours between matches, amplifying the psychological load where one misstep could shift adoration to judgment. In these high-stakes encounters, the intersection of elite competition and inner turmoil became palpable. As expectation pressed against his unyielding spirit like an invisible force, the sound of the ball whipping past defenders mixed with the distant hum of tension from the stands. Yet Vinícius pressed forward, his heartbeat a defiant counterpoint to the noise seeking to unsettle him. Teammates looked to him for inspiration under the floodlights, their reliance highlighting the heavy mantle of leadership thrust upon his still young frame. Every explosive sprint carried the accumulated weight of seasons where brilliance was demanded without respite. while delicate touches on the ball served as quiet assertions of control amid chaos. The fluid match flow transformed into a mirror of his private struggle. Waves of external pressure crashing against the shores of his mental fortitude. Here, in the rising crescendo, tactical mastery fused with psychological endurance, revealing the true cost of shining as a global icon under constant siege. In the charged tension of a pivotal Champions League clash, time stretched into slow-motion poetry as Vinícius Júnior received the ball on the flank, the stadium falling into a hushed reverence pregnant with possibility. Defenders converged like encroaching shadows, yet he twisted with supernatural agility, each feint an acceleration, a bold rejection of the chains that sought to confine his spirit. Floodlights cast dramatic halos across the dew-laden pitch, illuminating the raw intensity etched on his face. Then, with a surge drawn from years of accumulated defiance, he unleashed a thunderous strike that arced through the night air, the ball finding the top corner with exquisite precision and emotional release. In that frozen instant, the suffocating burden of expectation and racial shadow lifted fractionally. Tears of catharsis mingling with sweat as doubt yielded to a hard-won moment of pure liberation. The eruption of sound from the Bernabéu was cataclysmic. Yet within Vinícius, a quieter, deeper victory unfolded. The breakthrough not only of a decisive goal, but of a soul that had stared down systemic venom and emerged stronger. Slowed in vivid recollection, every heartbeat echoed the journey from favela streets to this pinnacle, where crucial action merged tactical brilliance with the peak of inner resilience. Teammates swarmed in celebration, but he stood momentarily rooted, eyes lifted in silent acknowledgement of battles waged beyond the scoreboard. This climax transcended the pitch, embodying the human cost of sporting brilliance where mental fortitude turned pressure into power. The emotional charge rippled outward, a testament to enduring under the glare where racism and expectation collide with unyielding spirit. In the quiet glow following such luminous moments, the profound meaning of Vinícius Júnior's path crystallizes with piercing clarity, revealing a legacy rooted not merely in silverware or highlight reel magic, but in the invisible architecture of psychological endurance. Amid cultural defiance, the burden of carrying Real Madrid as a global icon unveils the hidden toll, lonely nights where fame's embrace turns cold, where racist abuse has repeatedly eroded the simple joy of playing, leaving him at times questioning his desire to continue. Yet his refusal to retreat, declaring himself no victim but an executioner of racists, transforms personal pain into a broader symbol of resilience for athletes worldwide facing similar shadows. This thematic evolution of strength bridges high-stakes UEFA arenas with the intimate fortitude required to thrive at the Bernabéu, humanizing the icon beyond statistics. Through it all, his journey reflects the suffocating intersection of expectation and identity, where tactical genius alone proves insufficient without unbreakable mental armor. As the Bernabéu's brilliant lights gradually soften into the Madrid night and the crowds disperse carrying echoes of his name, Vinícius Júnior walks forward with measured grace, his silhouette etched against football's vast, unforgiving horizon. The core theme endures with quiet power. True greatness emerges not from escaping the weight, but from embracing it with dignity, turning every storm of pressure and prejudice into fuel for an indomitable spirit. His presence inspires a new understanding in the sport, where the human cost of brilliance is finally seen and honored alongside the glory. In this reflective light, the world witnesses how one man's endurance can illuminate paths for others, reminding us that the heaviest crowns often forge the brightest stars. Like the opening thunder that once defined him, his resilient soul now echoes a timeless truth across the ages. In the arena of dreams and defiance, it is the unseen battles within that crown the legends who refuse to break.